Hi everyone, my name is Nazli bin Rusli from Group 1 and this is our member in this group. Today we would like to share our digital book review about the novel that we choose, which is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. So let's get started. The main character of this novel is two young men named Lenny Small, who is physically big, strong, but mentally disabled, and George Milton, considered small in size but bright and ambitious. George and Lenny were two best friends. The story takes place in California during the Great Depression. Both men were a migrant ranch worker and dreamed to have their own places to settle one day. George and Lenny were running away from Reed due to rape accusation to Lenny, who accidentally touched a girl's dress. Lenny has a habit to touch soft things and petting animals like rabbit and mouse, but often accidentally kill them.
At the new ranch, they were greeted by Candy, a ranchman who has an old sheepdog, and soon befriended with Crook, the bare stable handman, Slim, a skilled mule driver, and the ranchman Carlson anyway. They also meet the boss of the ranch and his family, Curly, the boss' son, and the Curly's wife. Curly has an aggressive attitude and is known to pick a fight with the larger man. Meanwhile, his wife is known as a tramp and likes to dress in fancy clothes to attract men's attention. Either way, nobody likes them both. One day, while boys were having fun outside the barn, Lenny was trying to cover the dead puppy with hay after he accidentally fed it to its death.
And at that moment, Curly's wife entered and confessed to Lenny how lonely she was and that she should be in Hollywood and living as an actress. But when she realized Lenny liked to pet soft things, she puts Lenny's hand on her head to touch them, but warned him not to mess it. It was then Lenny started to stroke her hair harder, and when she tried to break free, Lenny accidentally broke her neck while covered her mouth. A few moments after Lenny's disappearance to the slopes of Gavilan Mountain, the boys entered the barn and found Curly's wife's dead body. They immediately knew who caused the tragedy. Triggered by anger, Curly ordered the boys to take their guns and start hunting Lenny. Meanwhile, at the hiding place, Lenny began to imagining his Aunt Clara and the bunny talking to him. Then he was discovered by George and they start talking about the dream place. As they chat about the place, George asks Lenny to turn around and take off his hat and start to pull a gun from his pocket. And as Lenny begged to go to that place, a gun was triggered and Lenny fell to the ground without quivering. A moment later, Curly and his men arrive, but there's nothing they could do about it because the culprit has been killed. The end of summary, and now it's time for review.
For most people, a dream is motivation to pursue their ambition, like George and Lenny, who dream to have their own place to settle, and Candy, who wants to be part of the dream. This novel also showed Curly's wife's dream to be an actress, but sometimes in the dreams can be shattered and buried by time due to some circumstances. For example, the dream of George and Lenny come to an end due to tragedy. We need to be realistic and be aware of our situation. George and Lenny shows a great deal of friendship and loyalty, especially since the death of Aunt Clara, and they stay loyal to each other just like the Candy and his old dog. Respect people around you or you will be disrespected just like Curly did to Lenny. and sacrifice has to be done for greater good. For example, the death of Lenny and the old sheepdog. Their death puts an end of their misery and each other. The jealousy of Curly made him suffer in the hand of Lenny. Because of his ego, Lenny broke his hand.
Hi, I'm Nasli. So, the novel of Mice and Men was written by John Steinbeck, where the main character is George and Lenny. It has around 100 pages. We like the novel because it does reflect a real life event. Such a dream big and work towards it. The book has a good storyline because it related to real life event and easy to understand. The plot and the character are quite straight to the point. Our favorite part was when George reminded Lenny of daydreams and set them in front of Candy. Lee's favorite part when Lenny was shot. If the ending can be changed, we would like to see if George and Lenny and Candy get settled down on their own because they're such a hardworking guys. We will rate this novel 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching and stay safe.